Hello and welcome to Purl and Plume, a knitting podcast where I always attempt to talk about my chickens and sometimes get around to it. Hopefully that will happen today. I actually have some chicks right over there who will be squeaking and peeping and making their adorable little sounds. I'm coming to you from Western Mass. I don't know if I already said that. It is March 21st. And we are all everywhere, living through this really challenging time. And I just want to say that I hope you are taking care of yourself. I hope you are well. I hope you are connecting with people, even if you can't physically connect. I hope you are checking in with those you care about and those who might need your support. I know I am trying to do the same. I'm also trying to continue to be a teacher and just trying to manage my anxiety, which I have been not taking medicine for over a year now, and I've been okay with, doing really healthy things. If I eat well and I do my best to get enough sleep and I exercise a lot and I do all the things that bring me joy and balance, I seem to be able to manage it quite well. So this is a challenge for me. I'm noticing it popping up kind of randomly when I'm not even it's not like I just read a scary article and suddenly I'm terrified again. So I know for myself that I have to push myself every day to exercise. And if it is sunny, I need to get in that sun. Today I had this moment where I was just so anxious and kind of frozen on the couch, head swimming, don't know what to do. Finally, I told a friend I was going to exercise, and that really, I think, helps if you can reach out and have a community that kind of keeps you focused on that and keeps you, I can't think of the word right now. But I do have lots of friends, and we are doing that for each other. And I actually have a couple coworkers who are friends who we are sending each other evidence every day of exercise. And then I check in, usually if I have FaceTime with a couple other friends, and we always mention that with each other. Have you exercised today? What's your plan for exercising? So that said, I have lots of fibery goodness to show you today. I just hope you're well. Okay, so first I want to mention these beautiful earrings that I'm wearing. These are earrings by the lovely, amazing Yasmin. I'm sorry, I should have written down the pronunciation. By Designs by Yasmin is how you can find her, I believe, on Instagram and I think even on Etsy. And she hand crochets Anyway, she makes these beautiful earrings. I saw the hearts, I think in February, and I had to have them because I love hearts. She does all colors, all designs, all different kinds of hoops and shapes, and she's just really cool. And she's also just a super glowy, warm, loving person, and I heard her interview with Amy Small of Collage Creative, which is a podcast I listen to, and I'm thinking I mentioned these earrings on my last podcast. I'm not sure. Should have looked at that. But I think I did, actually. You know what? I'm mentioning them again because I love them. Amy Small, Collage Creative, great podcast, Designs by Yasmin earrings. Yes, I did mention them on my last podcast. It's been a while, and it's also been a stressful while, let's be honest. Okay, the other pink elephant in the room is my Bright Feather sweater by Jen Steingass of Knit Love Wool. I've been talking about this lovely sweater for so long because even though I love it so much, it actually was a bit of a slog just because while I love color work, I don't love two-color work. I find it tedious. This is also a fingering weight sweater. But let me stand up and I'll do my little switcheroo here and show you the sweater. So, great pattern, super easy. Some of the things I love about it are the rolled sleeves and the rolled collar, so kind of get away from that, doing that ribbing, which I do so much of because I make so many sweaters. I did not do the designs on the sleeve. I started to, and then I found that I thought it was going to be a little too tight with my knitting. I could have gone up a needle size, and then I just thought, you know what? Why gild the lily? This is a beautiful sweater. I don't need anything here. I didn't want any yarn kind of getting, I didn't want it getting tight and then also feeling all the floats around my wrist. I just thought it might not be, you know. I also, as I often do, I have a little extra ribbing here. And you might want to call it cropped. I don't know. I guess I made it a little bit shorter. I also made it with very, you know, not, I would say, negative ease on my arms, and not a whole lot of positive ease, which I really like. I love this sweater with some positive ease. I've seen it on other people, and it's amazing, and I just kind of wanted it to be a little more fitted for me this time. Okay, so I have more details about this sweater on previous podcasts because, like I said, I keep freaking talking about this sweater, and finally I'm done, so I can stop talking about it and just wear it to the park while walking 6 feet away from everybody under a jacket, or in my house with my cats and children who really don't care that much about my sweaters, to be honest. So what I am drinking today comes in this beautiful glass from my friend Mickey, and it is it's my hippie drink. It is toasted chicory and dandelion root. It's called dandy powder or dandy something. Dandy drink. It's literally toasted roots that are ground up into a powder, and they dissolve in cold or hot water, and then I add a little bit of milk, usually, and ice. And it's really delicious. Tastes like coffee, but it's not going to make you jittery, which if you're struggling with anxiety like I am, that's what you should be drinking. Okay? Not that you can buy it anywhere probably anymore. It's also a little bit naturally sweet. So yummy. My friend Kim introduced this to me, so thanks, Kim, if you're watching. The other FO I have, I don't have with me because my stepdaughter is actually wearing them right now. So I'm going to show you them right now in a photo. I finished the socks. There's my beautiful cat. Those are just a pair of, you know, vanilla socks with Paintbox yarn. I think, again, I have more details in a previous podcast episode, so you can check that out if you want to know more about those socks. Those are my only finished objects, because I've been knitting so many things at the same time, which I'm fine with right now. It's kind of what I need. So let me start talking about my works in progress. I have a lot of them. This first one I cast on rather spontaneously. This is something that happens to me when I'm feeling some anxiety. Gotta find the pattern first. It is the Massaman pattern. Funnily enough, yeah, but designed by Elizabeth Smith for Quince & Co. Look at how, you know, yes, I know, I printed it in color. I have to print my patterns, guys. I don't have an iPad, okay? And we have a printer that it doesn't make sense to print just in black and white. My husband prints a lot for his business. So, my son thought it was an old magazine, and when he spilt his tea, he used my pattern to soak it up. I'm trying. Anyway, I can still use it, and you'll hear soon enough that it doesn't even matter. So, gorgeous. What I love about this, I love Elizabeth Smith's designs, first of all. You should totally check her out on Ravelry. While I love a good colorwork sweater and I love a lot of details and stuff in my sweaters, I also, everyone wants some pieces that are just kind of simple and good basics, and she has a lot of those. Beautiful vests and kind of sleeveless sweaters and regular sweaters that are just gorgeous clean lines. So this is what's so cool about this. Has this great waffle texture here. It has this garter bands here, so there's like some structure here. And then this is actually a separate cowl that you knit in the waffle texture. And oh god, it's so dark. Sorry. And so you can take it off if you get too hot. Which, you know, when you're wearing a worsted weight wool sweater without sleeves, could happen. Don't need the cowl all the time. I just love the way it looks. I really love that color. Of course, the model is gorgeous and she looks amazing and cool in it, and that always, you know, makes us want to buy things. So I started it, and I actually started it last Friday. While a friend and I were driving our sons to visit a college, and we knew it was kind of a dangerous time. But it was kind of like before everything got really scary, but it was like, colleges are closing down. But this school offers an incentive for visiting. You get $1,500 a year off of tuition if you just visit. So we squeezed in there, and it wasn't crowded, and we were smart about everything, but it was still crazy, because really, that was the day that our school said, you're not coming back next week. And we weren't there. We're both teachers. Took the day off. It was actually a really great time with our kids, because, you know, once they're like seniors, you just generally don't get to have all that quality time with them anymore. They're so busy. Unless you're in quarantine, and then suddenly you have tons of quality time. So I got quite a bit of it done, and I bought Valley Yarns Northampton wool, which is a worsted weight. I think it's on the lighter end of a worsted weight yarn in this beautiful brown color. And you'll see, I do love the texture. I have to put a light on. It's getting too dark in here. But I felt like Hi, honey. I'm podcasting. Just do your thing. I guess I felt like, it's a little, I'm making the smallest size, but it's, just keep going.
This is fun. It's funny.
But it does look a little small, but I think it's very stretchy. Like, if you look at this, there's a lot of stretch there. I'm podcasting. My children are home. You guys want to say hi?
Poo face.
Well, now I have to edit that out.
That's annoying. Don't do that. Come on.
Mom, I'm probably gonna edit it for you.
Okay. Let me just continue, please. This is very important.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty stretchy. I love it. There are a few things I really like about it so far. I really like how there isn't a ribbing on the bottom. It's just kind of the way it is. And I'm back. So there are a few things I really like about it. I do love the texture. I love how the bottom doesn't have, it just starts, you know, it doesn't have a ribbing. That's really cool. I was worried that it wouldn't stretch enough, but it does seem to be very stretchy, so I'm sure I could block it into a really good shape. And that's cool. But I have to say, it still looks like it might be a little too small for me. I'm worried about the sizing, because this is something that I would want to fit on me like this model. Kind of loose, got quite a bit of positive ease there. It just kind of hangs. That's really great. Don't think so. I think I'm going to take it out, and I will have 3 skeins of Northampton yarn, Valley Yarns Northampton, to work with in this beautiful brown color, which is great. And I kind of think maybe I'll make like a vest or something with it, or it could be the basis of a worsted weight sweater. I could always buy more. And I'm back again. Okay, so what I was saying was I am going to take the Massamon sweater. Even though I love the pattern, there's nothing wrong with the pattern. The design is beautiful. I love it. I just think I probably should have gone up a size. I did not gauge swatch. It's all me. And now I've kind of lost interest at the moment. I'm also, I have to say, with my knitting, I much prefer doing color work than texture. I love wearing texture and little bits of it, knitting little bits of it, but I don't know. I made a few mistakes here and there with the waffle. And I also made some mistakes with the garter rows here. You can see they're subtle. And I had ideas about fixing them and not going all the way back. And then I didn't feel good about those ideas. So what are you going to do? I may go back to it. Just not anytime soon. And now the store, I can't even like go back and return my yarn because I'm sure the store is, I think the last day was Friday, which makes sense. So, I guess we shouldn't call it a work in progress anymore, should we? Okay, my next project is something for my wonderful older sister, who I love dearly and want to make things for, but honestly, I am a selfish knitter. And especially if something takes a long time, and it involves, like I said, texture, like cables, I find it challenging. So this is a pattern on, it's on Ravelry, but they kind of send you to Knitty to print it. It is a free pattern, so I can show this to you. And it is a beautiful cabled worsted weight sock. In fact, this pattern uses Northampton wool by Valley Yarns. So I could just make a bunch of brown, gorgeous brown socks. My friend Lauda has made this many times. I can totally do it. I'm doing it. I'm making the sock. Let me show you. I am making it in a dark green. And I wish my lighting was a little bit better, but I do this and I don't think it's, so you can kind of see the heart there. There are cables, there's a little cable detail here, and it's toe up, which I hadn't done before, and that was so cool to learn how to do that, and it was not hard, and it just looks really great. You can see, I mean, it looks like I just Kitchenered it. It's going slowly, because I just don't love cables. I love the way they look. I don't love knitting them. And the pattern, here's the cable chart. I just have to look up what some of those symbols in the chart mean, like fairly regularly, especially because I'm not just sitting down and knitting it for a whole day, because I don't like doing it. So that's happening very slowly. So that is my second, or really my first work in progress, since the other one I am frogging. Okay, my next, this is really funny because I've hardly done anything on this, but I am making the Woodland Loafers by Claire Slade. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. I feel really bad. I just realized I didn't mention the person who designed these beautiful Sweetheart socks. These are by Nicole Lore. Okay? Sorry about that. The Woodland Loafers by Claire Slade. And I'm not giving anything away if I show these to you. These are on Ravelry. I can't remember how much they cost. Not that much. And I have made the sole of one of them. And these shouldn't take that long, but again, I mean, they're not hard, and there are no cables. I'm just not into it right now. And these, again, are for a gift. What does this say about me? I think I showed this last time, maybe, the yarn. These are for a friend of mine, a colleague of mine. Haven't gotten that far because I'm enjoying the other things you're about to see. Okay, so I began knitting my Corellia by Midori Hirose. Also known as Knit Cafe Midori. It is a top-down fingering weight sweater with this beautiful floral motif. I'm a sucker for floral motifs, as we know. And it is not stranded knitting to create the motif. You actually, and it's not embroidery, even though it looks like embroidery, it is a kind of weaving that you do between the stitches. It is a traditional Estonian technique called ruusamin, which means rose in Estonian language. And it's gorgeous. So it's made with, the leaves are actually made with a chunky weight mohair, or I'm going to use a mohair held maybe triple or quadruple, and then you use a DK weight yarn for the little bud detail. So I'm going to show you how I'm getting along with that and what I am using. I am using this delicious yarn that I got at Webb's right before the happening. It is Philo by Cloud9 Fibers, and this is the Jet colorway. And I have to say, it looks black on my screen because my computer is basically geriatric. But I would really call it an inky midnight blue, or an inky blue, a very dark blue. It's just like not showing anything. You can see that it's kind of a gauzy, loose weave. Even though I went down 2 sizes in needles, that's the intention. It's a fingering weight yarn, and I believe she has you use size 7 maybe needles, or 8. So that's my main color. It's this dark, dark color. And for the bud detail, I am using this delectable yellow. I can't even handle it. I love it so much. They look so good together. And for the leaf, I'm using a dark green that I cannot find right now. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm using, so these are both Cloud9 Fibers Philo. And then I am using Valley Yarns Southampton in the color 27. So we got a lot of jewel tones going on here. So the yellow is Amber Waves. And if you can see that this does have a little bit of blue in it, it makes it look even better. But there we go. I'm really excited about this. I have made it all the way to right before, you know, the next row. My next row is the color work row. You place your markers and then you do the color work. And the other thing I love about this is that it has kind of a high collar and it's in twisted rib, which is my favorite. And so I just knew that it's learning a new strategy, and I just wanted to wait to learn something new. Yeah, kids, everyone struggles with learning new things. Everyone needs to use a little energy learning new things. Everyone has moments of disequilibrium or discomfort learning new things. And so sometimes we just say, hey, we're going to wait and maybe cast on another project. But I will come back to this very soon, and I will have time for it. I know. Okay, so that is exciting. And the yarn, oh my gosh, the yarn back to this yarn. It was on sale at Webb's. It is 80% wool and 20% silk. I love it, even though I don't really look great in yellow. It's just going to be little details, and then I'll have a ton left over to maybe, I don't know, can you make socks with that? Would they be good? Okay, that's the Corellia. So excited. So excited. My next work in progress. I'm not going to bring up my niece's sweater. I haven't done anything on that. She's not going to be wearing it for like a year, so I'll just take my time. This I cast on last night. Again, I was anxious. And I thought to myself, what can I make with yarn that I have? I have an okay stash. Not great. I mean, it's not like most podcasters I see with the wall of sweater quantity. I don't have sweater quantities just lying around. Because if I buy sweater quantities, I usually cast them on right away because it's for a pattern. I have a couple sweater quantities that are like married to a pattern right now in a bag, but I'm not going to cast them on yet because I generally only knit 1 or 2 fingering weight sweaters at a time and then a heavier weight sweater. And those slots are filled. So my sister-in-law, my beautiful, amazing, wonderful sister-in-law, made a Ninilchik swan show and wore it over Christmas break, and I couldn't handle how beautiful it was. She's breastfeeding, and it is just like so handy for breastfeeding. Because if you don't know about the swan show, it is a design by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. I've mentioned her name a couple of times. And here it is. So it is like, swan show is a combination of sweater and poncho. And so you've got a poncho, and then, you know, somewhere around the elbow maybe, you break for the sleeves. And you got some ribbing there. And look at that. So that's DK weight yarn. And as you can see, you don't need a whole lot of any one of the colors. And you can kind of fool around with that too. Like this, I think, uses 4 colors. I'm using 5. Because when I looked at the colors, that the yarn I had with my husband, that's what he helped me pick out. He's really helpful in that way. So, the colors I'm using are, only one of them did I have a full skein of, and it was left over from a sweater that I had knit. I think it was my Camaro sweater by Tannis Fiber Arts. And I had a sweater's quantity of this yarn that I really, really love. Did I say sweater's quantity? I mean 1 skein. I had a full skein of Prairie Spun DK by Brown Sheep Company in the Cottonwood Bark color. I love me some brown. So I thought, okay, I definitely want brown in it. And I got a lot of brown. And then I thought, you know, I have a lot of creams and they don't all match. But in a colorwork sweater, when everything's separated, who cares about that? So I've got these, and I think I might even have another one that just rolled away that's very similar, but I don't even think I'm going to need to use this cooler cream. I'm starting with this, and I might get away with just using this, because this is pretty close to a skein, I think. I can't even remember what it's from. It's DK weight. Is it the same weight as this? I'm not going to get all scientific. I don't know. I don't care. It's close enough. I think this has some alpaca in it or something. And this is just woolly wool. It's not too itchy, but it is like kind of rustic and not itchy. Don't get me wrong. Well, for some people it might be. This is super soft. So, gotta have these two. And this is gonna be taking the place of all the cream in the sweater pattern. Okay. So then, I thought need some pops of color in here. So we got these three. So basically, here are the sweater colors. And the cream, I might get away with just using that, and I might have to break into, I've got some cream that has some, it's Tweety. That's all. The thing is, I don't know what yarn this is. In fact, this green might even be a worsted. It's a single ply. I think it's one of the oldest balls of yarn that I have. Like, I think I bought this when I wasn't even knitting sweaters. This, I know, is Knit Picks Hawthorne. I hand dyed it. And I'm holding it double, so it's fingering weight. So this is the really cool thing, excuse me, roll away ball, need to get it, about color work. And if you're not super type A, like me, and you know you're gonna hand wash your sweaters, this is gonna work. I've done this before. And this held double is great because it's a very tonal hand-dyed yarn, and it's about the same weight. It's actually a little thinner than the brown, I think. It's working out fine. This, like I said, might be a worsted. Don't know, don't care. It's working out fine. So I'm going to show you what I have so far. Now these are the short rows in the back, and this is the very top of the sweater. So, like I said, it's meant to have, the original pattern has 4 colors. I just thought I needed all these colors, so I went with it. And then what's really funny is I, often when I'm knitting a new sweater, I will check out Christy Glass Knits podcast, because she does a lot of, like if she finishes a project, she will have a mini episode just on that sweater. And she's done a lot of Caitlin Hunter's patterns, and I like to hear about other people knitting them. So I checked it out. She's using almost the same exact colors, with the exception of that she doesn't have a cream in her sweater. She has like a lighter pink. So she's got a lighter pink, not in the same spots, but like she's got a brown, a lighter pink, a very similar green, and like a dark kind of pink. So funny. So I was like, oh, great minds. Oh, and she has a blue too. We're using our colors in different spots, but I really think this is fun. And you know what I really love about it is the brown is a little heathered. You can't see it here, but it is a heathered brown. The cream is just it's cream, pretty solid, and it's got a bit of a halo from, I think, maybe alpaca. The mulberry color, or magenta or whatever, is very tonal. You can see specks of white. And the green is very, again, like kind of tonal too. And then the blue is very solid. So I really love that I've got tonals and solids and heathered colors all kind of together in a sweater. I think they also have different textures and plies. I just think it makes it really interesting to have all that going on. So I am really excited about this. I kind of don't want to stop knitting it. And I haven't really gotten a lot of it done today. And I have lipstick on my teeth. That's why I don't wear lipstick. So, I think that's just about it. I did start a pair of socks. Hardly got anything done. I think I showed it last time, so I'm not going to bring that up. I don't know if I want to talk about books that I'm reading. I think I'm going to skip that today. But I will introduce you to a new friend. Even though they're being very quiet now, so I should leave them alone because they're about to get really loud. Here goes nothing. It's okay. It's okay. This is a little chick. This is a black copper marin. Look at the little hair on his feet. Hopefully her feet. It's okay. You are so loud. Okay, I'm going to put her back. She wants to be with her sisters. So I wasn't going to get chicks this year. And then life got a little scary, a little stressful. And a friend found this breed of chicken very nearby. And I couldn't resist getting some. So black copper marins are a beautiful breed originating in France, and they have a gorgeous color. I actually think one of my chickens has a little black copper marin in her. They're very dark with this coppery kind of shoulder, and they lay chocolatey brown looking eggs, which are just gorgeous. So here we are. I can't keep the roosters, so I have to figure that out, but I'm very excited to have some chicks to take care of right now. They are feisty though. I have to say, this breed as chicks, unless I got all roosters and they're already showing their colors, they're feisty. They try to hop out of the bin when I open it to clean it a few times a day, which I haven't had at this age. They're about a little over a week old. I haven't had that before with chicks, and I've had 3 or 4 batches of chicks before in my house until it's warm enough, and then they live in the garage for a while in a big bin. Then I move them to, I have a whole process. I do it very gradually. Anyway, that's exciting. So I'm going to end here, and I hope you are well, and I hope you are taking care of yourself. And we will get through this. I am encouraged by all the people reaching out and kind of checking in with everyone. And we can do this. Take care.